Hi everyone, welcome to this. This is a video, this is message number 1 for Natori Ryu students. Right guys, now, we're on the hub, we're all on the hub, and if you are not on the hub, go to Facebook and type in Natori Ryu Hub, H-U-B. That's where we all meet. Now, I have noticed guys that as Natori Ryu is starting to grow, we're getting people coming in and people are introducing themselves, which is fine, but we're getting lots of, people who don't understand the way we work, they don't understand what we're trying to do. So I'm finding that we're getting lots of people turning up with the word sensei in their title, shidoshi in the title, we've even had grandmaster in their title. Guys, we do not accept this here at Natori Ryu. First of all, in Japanese culture, you never address yourself as sensei. Shidoshi is a word basically used by sort of like Bujinkan and people like that. I don't know the exact history on the word. I'm not saying it's a made up word, but it's not very, it's not massive in the martial arts community, if you know what I mean. So just be careful when you use Shidoshi, like make sure you know where it's coming from. And of course, Grandmaster, you know, it's getting a bit like to the point of no. So please, Natori Ryu students, you never address yourself as Grandmaster, Sensei, Shidoshi, anything like that. Your name is your name. In Japanese society, other people address you as Sensei or teacher. You don't call yourself teacher. Hi, I am Teacher Anthony. You know what I mean? That's what it's like. It's saying my name. It's like imagine meeting someone and saying, oh, what's your name? And they say, oh, my name's Bob. And then they say, what's your name? You say, I am Mr. Cummings. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it just doesn't, and that's a very low level at like Anthony San. If you go to San, I am a teacher, my name is Mr. Cummings. You know what I mean? It's a little too forceful, and you never do it. So, don't do it. Just simple as that. Don't do it on here. So I'm going to start deleting posts that have the word Shidoshi in and Grandmaster and things like that. If you have it on your Facebook page, you know, as your main name, change it immediately. It's extremely bad manners. Right. So, we're getting new people coming in, chaps, and everybody's having a bit of a play around and finding their balance, and people are not quite understanding what Natori Ryu is. And they're starting to discuss his warfare, hand-to-hand combat, and it's all getting a little bit messed up. So, I'm doing this video to set it straight. Basically, chaps, remember this. Natori Ryu is a school of gungaku. That means it is military warfare. That's strategy, tactics, stratagems, troop movements. Of course warfare involves, you know, hitting people with swords, but that's the lowest of the low. That's what low people do. You send your troops at the front to hit the other people with sticks and swords. They can be amazing at it, they can be superb at it, but your job as a Natori Ryu student is to use your mind. That's what you're using. So if you're a little bit finding that it's too difficult, or you're finding that, you know, it's not really for you, then it's definitely not for you. Natori Ryu is only for those people who feel they've got the mental capability to understand warfare on a large scale, or to become ippei, independent soldiers. So, what you should be doing, guys, is this. Dropping any title you have. Second, stopping trying to mix your martial arts with Natori Ryu. It doesn't work. I've just posted, and I will post again below this in the thread in the Facebook hub. There's the Empty Mind Films has just come out, a new one, and it tells you at the trailer. It says that samurai would go to a school of kenjutsu for kenjutsu. They may go to a school of rope capturing. They may go to a school of fire skills. Basically, what a samurai needed is he'd go to different schools. So this is not understood by most people, because a lot of people are coming in and going, oh, well, how do I smash my martial arts into it, and how do I take over with martial arts? That's not what you do. If you like Katori Shinto Ryu, go to Katori Shinto Ryu and learn swordsmanship, some naginata. And then when you want warfare, you come to Natori Ryu. You don't have to stick with one school. Of course, you shouldn't do 2 schools of kenjutsu. You shouldn't do 2 schools of gungaku, military science. You should do 1 school of each subject. There are very few schools that have everything. Even Katori Shinto Ryu, which is a great school, has some fortifications, some shuriken, a little bit of ninjutsu, but it doesn't have the lot, it doesn't have a full curriculum. It's basically a hand-to-hand combat school with some extended knowledge. So, which is what it does, it's great. Natori Ryu does what it does, and that's logistics, tactics, that type, medicine, that type of thing. Right, so, which leaves people with a little bit of confusion. So I'm going to make it as bog standardly basic as you possibly can get it. As a Natori Ryu student, what you should be doing is studying the Natori Ryu text. Now, of course, the only text out is the Shoninki. Still, you can study it. The first Natori Ryu text is out in literally weeks, guys. There it is. Look how much you've got to study. There's loads to study. Remember, if you don't like it, or it's not quite what you want, or it doesn't work with your life, then this group is not for you. I don't mind. It's not a problem. Move on to somewhere else and find what you like. So what you should be doing is getting that book, studying that book. That will be here in November. It's very, very close. Even October. It's very close, guys. You should, if you have a dojo, or if you're wearing traditional clothes, you should have an obi belt. Inside that obi belt should be your wakizashi. At all times when you are doing anything Natori Ryu, get your wakizashi on, because you have to walk around with it. Have your katana nearby when you're in your dojo. Okay, next step is you should be studying Chinese classics. You should be studying the Art of War. And I don't mean reading them, I mean studying them. Open it up, break it down, write it out, draw a diagram. What does Sun Tzu mean by this? Read all of them, the 7 Chinese classics. There's thousands of skills in there that you don't just read, you break down into pictures. So at the moment you've got your kit on, you've got your wakizashi in, you're reading Sun Tzu, you've got the Shoninki, you've possibly in a few weeks, or by the time you might see this video, the first book's out, which gives you lots to do. Yeah. Then maybe after you've done some Gungaku study, you practice your other skill, which would be Katori Shinto Ryu. It could be Sekiguchi Ryu, Eshin Ryu. It doesn't matter. Get your sword skills down. Also, once you learn a bit of sword from a different school, learn how to handle a long bow staff, learn how to get around with weapons. But above all, guys, above all, Natori Ryu is a school for changing your mind. The idea of Natori Ryu is to take what brain you have there, smash it up, crumble it down, and then rebuild it in a solid formation. So it's okay, go do some swordsmanship, go do some spears, make sure you're shooting archery, make sure you're learning to ride a horse, if not a motorbike, if not a bicycle, just get riding it like a standy up thing. Start learning how to use vehicles. Then learn some jiu-jitsu. Have a bit of a grapple. You don't need to be an expert in this. Jiu-jitsu, you need to be basically be able to get off the floor. Somebody's going to grab you, pull you down, you've got to get them down, you've got to get them off, and you've got to stand up and get away. Now I don't mean run away, I mean get back and rear. So don't stay on the ground, get up. Swordsmanship, you have to go to another school. Right, and then what you need to be doing is just adapting the skills to your life. Now, I am not at the moment going wholeheartedly into this, but I saw on the thread the other day people were saying, oh, it's not really, you can't really modernize this. First of all, get out of a samurai school. If you're trying to learn samurai warfare, it's not modern. Samurais are long dead. I can't understand people who come and say, oh, I'm going to learn this and I'm going to make it modern. Forget that. Go and buy a book on the SAS. Go and buy a book on the SEALs. There's plenty of information out there you can buy on modern warfare. You don't need to learn samurai warfare and turn it modern. Go and learn modern warfare. Samurai warfare came to an end because it wasn't good enough to compete with modern warfare. But that doesn't mean it's useless. What does it mean? So basically, you as a Natori Ryu student should be becoming Ippei, independent soldier. That means you should be improving your body, you should be improving your martial skills, you should be improving your health, but above all, you should be improving your mind. You should be changing the way those cogs in there work. So guys, a bit of a telling off here. Get off the high horses, get off the trying to teach. So the basic key here is stop trying to teach people and learn. It's ridiculous that people think they can come and teach people about certain stuff because they're grandmasters or they're senseis. It's like, no, guys, back to the beginning. Build yourself. Stop trying to build other people. And the more you build yourself, bit by bit, the more other people will follow you. So if you do want to be an instructor, this is what you want to do, which is, I call it teacher's disease. Me and my friend call it teacher's disease. Those people learn a little bit and just want to teach people straight away. That's not what you're doing. Basically, you should be building yourself, and eventually when you're building and building, you get a solid Ippei. You're strong, you're slim, you're fit, you're flexible, you're intelligent, you can fight, you can plan, you can perform, you can engage with strategy. All of these things, people will start to give you respect then. You don't force your respect on people by saying, my name is Shidoshi, my name is Grandmaster. Yeah, I do it this way. If you guys do it this way, that way, then do it that way. It's not a problem. But if you're coming to Natori Ryu, you start as no one and you finish as no one. Basically, you finish as yourself. That's it. There's no sort of like striving. If you want to be a Grandmaster here, you're in the wrong place. This is where you basically will come to improve and make yourself better. And I don't just mean spiritually or pond sitting where you're like, oh, look at me. Whereas that is part of it. It's not what you're here for. You're here to become a developed and sophisticated person. If you're getting bored by not doing the martial art, you're probably not ready for that type of teaching. So guys, telling off over, make sure on that hub, anybody who starts giving it that sort of talk, cut them down. The hub is there, but be polite. The hub is there so that people can enjoy the teachings of Natori Ryu without having to argue why they like Natori Ryu. If it's not for you guys, it's not for you. But for those students who it is for, start thinking, start using your mind, start getting intelligent, start talking to people with planned strategy. Don't just respond. Have strategy. You must always have a long-term strategy in mind. You must always have an escape route in mind, and you must always have set up traps. Now, yes, and for those other students, should get out of those traps. Absolutely. And of course, that's, you know, that's the sort of mindset you should be having. But above all, you form brotherly. You don't go against each other. We're here to unite, and we're here as a group of individual soldiers. Ippei. We're a group of Ippei. That's the difference between rank and file. Rank and file are literally boom, boom, boom products given out to go and fight and die on the battlefield. Ippei are absolutely groups of individual people who can think for themselves.